So I got my wisdom teeth out.
You did. How was that? Was it a bloody good time?
It was a bloody good time.
I know, because I had to take care of you and I had to drive you everywhere.
No, it really sucked. And so if you're wondering why there wasn't a podcast last week, it's because I had no teeth. So that's delightful.
You had no teeth at all?
None.
You're all gums?
Not a single one. They all fell out.
You're talking so well.
I know. But I'm better-ish now, more or less. I still chew with I'm like a little beaver chewing with my front teeth. But yeah, so welcome back to ThoughtCast, the video game and anime podcast. My name's John.
I'm Allie.
And this week, we actually have two very special guests with us.
I know
today.
the title is spoiling it, but you may have heard their names before because we may have mentioned them in like almost every single podcast.
Literally the last one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. So this time we have our friends Beth and TJ, and you may remember TJ because he's been begging us to watch Komi Can't Communicate. We did. Spoiler alert.
Yes.
And I promise I'm not holding them hostage here.
No, yeah.
We did not just go through the whole season.
We did watch the first episode.
And thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, thank you for your recommendation, and I'm
you.
sorry it took so long.
You know what? Good things happen to those who wait.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it finally happened.
Yeah.
And then Beth was my roommate in college for 3 years, and she got me into Animal Crossing, and we were on Reddit, and she helped me get carnations for the Mother's Day event. It was so good.
Yes. So, whenever we bring guests on, all the one other time that we've ever done that.
Oh my goodness.
But it's becoming a tradition very quickly. We always like to ask, what is a game and an anime, or games and anime that like really resonate with you?
I mean, if we're getting deep in the tank here, I mean, I've played everything from World of Warcraft. I've played Animal Crossing with my lovely girlfriend.
Yeah.
And we had our little Animal Crossing dates when we weren't together.
Yeah.
Right now I play Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
I still play FIFA,
Mm-hmm.
Halo, Magic the Gathering, which is as much as an addiction as it is a pastime. But I really like a lot of, isekais.
Mm-hmm.
I started off with Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a lot of people did.
Yeah.
And then evolved into lots of slice of lives, Yorulai and April.
Mm-hmm.
Getting into the isekais, Mushoku Tensei.
Mm-hmm.
I was there when Sal dropped Attack on Titan. So I'm very well put myself through a lot of the pain and hours binge watching everything I could get my hands on in high school and trying to keep up with the current trends and be as cool as everyone else.
Yeah, I love that for you.
Coolest kid in the room.
I'm way more simpler than that. I grew up watching Ouran High School Host Club with my sister and Inuyasha with her, but I never really was like super into anime until I started dating TJ. And then it just kind of, he would watch it and I would watch it. But I'm a Zelda fan through and through. My whole childhood was Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
But the GameCube version.
Ooh.
I know Allie was the N64 version. I didn't own an N64. I only had a GameCube and I had the collector's edition. So that little disc of all the like Zelda games was like everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
And Animal Crossing, obviously, and Stardew Valley is the big obsession. Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Chef's
You have
kiss.
1,200 hours into that game? Something
Not
crazy.
that much, but at least on my Switch it's like 380 hours. But on PC, I went to Argentina and that was all I did was play Stardew Valley. I should have visited the country, but I played Stardew Valley, so it was okay.
Look, sometimes there are priorities in
Honestly,
life.
yeah.
And
It sucked me in. I have anxiety. It's how it happened, It was fine. I saw my bucket list, so
Yeah.
at that point it was like, all right, I got to romance Shane.
Like,
So.
Yeah, you checked all the boxes in Argentina, and then you were like, okay, Shane's waiting.
He was. I had to save him.
Gotta get the blue chicken.
I had to save him. And I was like, I specifically didn't take my Switch with me so that I wouldn't do that, and then I downloaded it on my Mac. So
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're a completionist through and through. every game you don't just beat, you 100%.
Yes. Oh, Overwatch as well. I have played Overwatch since launch on Xbox, and I have like almost every skin, and I pay money for the skins when I can because I have to have as close to all of them as I can. So that's me.
The dedication.
Yeah.
The dedication. I'm gonna tangent immediately.
Please.
Overwatch.
Yes.
How? Because I know you both like Overwatch.
How we
Yes.
started dating.
Yes.
His Reinhardt skills actually are what won me over. So
Oh.
you were there the first time he came over and played Overwatch too.
I was.
So that was a history
Oh
happening.
my gosh.
How are you both feeling about Overwatch 2 and everything surrounding that?
I don't care.
Okay.
I like genuinely haven't followed anything at all.
Yeah.
And I just play regular Overwatch. So I guess when it comes out, if he buys it for me, I will play it. But I have not been keeping up. But I think he has some opinions.
My stepbrother messages our group chat every day whenever there's even a sliver of news out. I remember when I first started playing League of Legends because of him. I have crazy old skins like Pax Jackson. I think it's Pax Twisted Fate or something. It's some absurd skin that people pay thousands of dollars for.
Oh,
you
wow.
had to go to a convention to get.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, $50 for this cool skin online. Sure thing.
Yeah.
Because I had to have it. I had to. It's like Spectral Tiger in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Every time I see someone with that mount, I'm envious.
Yeah.
But he's one that got me into League. So eventually, before even Overwatch came out, anytime there's a sliver of news, he had to send it to us. And I'm with Beth. I don't really care. It's a video game that someone else is making for me to enjoy. And since my life doesn't really revolve around it anymore, like it used to, because I wanted to I had to get to Grand Champion and Grandmaster, and I had to boost my SR and play every night and master every character. It's just
It's also been drug out too long, I feel like.
right. This
release.
game was supposed to come out forever ago.
So it's like,
Yeah.
well, whatever. At this point.
True.
After the second delay, I was like, when it comes out, it comes out.
Yeah. See, I hate to say I'm like
You're
low.
invested.
I'm low. I was not invested at all. I could not care less for the longest time.
But
But like Allie, I feel like you've seen this like growing in me over the past like week or two.
Yes.
I'm low key all aboard the hype train again because like just seeing small like slivers of news, like seeing that they're bringing it down to 5 instead 5v5 versus 6v6, which we've known like that for a while, but seeing that they're going to have that beta on April 26th, and I'm like, ooh, like I'll sign up for the beta. I'll try it out.
no one's twisting your hand to do it, right?
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if I have to. But I think back on, because when I played the original Overwatch beta, it like before it like actively came out, it was like such a special time in my life.
Oh yeah, those were such good times.
Because
it's like,
I was never excited about a shooter before Overwatch happened. And so when it did happen, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so motivational. Like, I could be a hero too. Like,
I loved watching those shorts or like those little videos.
The cinematics are so good.
They were moving. Like, I've cried more to those than
Well, they're movie level. I mean, when Blizzard does something right, it always hits. And having the production team, they started with, old school Warcraft with the cinematics, and just watching Warcraft 2 cinematics versus the ones that they make for every single expansion since, and now Overwatch, they have a movie level production team for these 5-10 minute videos. Even if they're that long, it's always something special.
Yeah. I'm so envious that I wasn't into Overwatch when it came out. Like, I mean, I played it because you liked it, but I wasn't into it. So now that I have 4 friends who are working on this new survival unreleased title. I have 4 friends working on it. I still know nothing about it because, like, NDAs, they're not allowed to tell me, duh. But, like, because they're working on it, now I like have to be invested
Yeah,
in
you're
it. And
already
so I'm, like,
emotionally invested.
yeah, and so I'm excited for that I can like be supportive of my friends and everything. But I'm also really excited because I didn't get that moment with like World of Warcraft or with like Overwatch or like any other Blizzard anything.
Yeah,
And so I'm excited to like have this one thing where I'm gonna be there from the beginning.
And
Like,
I hope
get that.
And I hope like Blizzard has like a good company culture by the time
Me too.
that it comes out.
Cough cough, Bobby
But-
Kotick, go away.
But like I remember like for the longest time on my personal Twitter, not the ThoughtBubble Twitter, I had this motivational image like as my pinned tweet that has the quote from the Winston cinematic that says, "Never accept the world as it appears to be, dare to see it for what it could be." And I was like, oh, that hits hard. That's so true.
Aw.
Dare to see it for what it could be. And you know, it kind of takes away from the quote knowing that like there are probably scumbags who like helped write that quote.
Yeah.
But like you know, whatever, it's still a good quote. But I don't know. I have such fond memories of Overwatch and that time that I'm really hoping that I can like get some of that with Overwatch too. I don't think I will, honestly, to be honest, but I would like to.
So for those who do play Overwatch, one of the most fond memories, frustrating but fond memories I'll ever have, was when my friend first discovered Lucio. You know, this was when the game just released and everyone was able to be in the closed beta.
Yeah.
I only played on PlayStation. I even downloaded on my PC because we were all grouping together and it was going to be the best experience ever. And in our guild on Warcraft, he played a priest. So that's the healer type that gives buffs. So of course he went straight to Lucio, dodged the Mercy because he already spent 2.5 weeks playing her. And we didn't know why we weren't getting healed.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, dude, what's going on? He's like, I'm shooting at you. I'm shooting at you. I don't know why you're being healed. We're like, what do you mean you're shooting at us? Just, you have to switch the beat, switch the disc, go from speed buffs to healing buffs. He's like, no, I'm shooting you with the healing gun. It's like, that's not how it works. We've lost 4 games in a row because of this. You don't get those like experiences anymore. And I hope that there is something like that in Overwatch 2. I want them to redesign the characters more. And that would really pull me back. And I know they're doing it with the skins, but aesthetics only go so far. I can only spend so many thousands of dollars a year on skins.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like speaking of Overwatch and just like, because I feel like for me personally, that was like a very like a touchstone moment, you know? So this year is the 2-year anniversary. It's completely switching gears here. This is the 2-year anniversary of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, New
coming
Horizons.
Out. New Horizons, yeah. And so I was just curious as to like what all of your thoughts are in regard to like what your experience has been with that game, because I feel like because it came out at such a strange time. Would you say that that's a good word to use?
What's the word that they always use?
Unprecedented.
Yeah.
Unprecedented time.
Yeah. Like, what has been your experiences with like Animal Crossing? Good, bad, amazing, like helpful, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Beth, you have hella hours.
I do. So, I was working at a record store part-time and like freelancing right before the pandemic hit. And then the Sunday before Animal Crossing came out, it was the 15th. I hate that I remember these dates so vividly. I got a call that was like, don't come into work tomorrow. And I was like, cool, whatever. And then that turned into 2 months of the store being closed. And then that Friday, TJ went out to Walmart and got us 2 copies of Animal Crossing.
Oh, it just wasn't first thing in the morning, though.
It was.
Attempt number 2.
Yeah, he tried. But, yeah, and we put a good amount of hours into it. You started playing it at first, but you didn't really get committed to it. You kind of always played it just because it was a way to
emotionally
do things
connect
with me.
with you.
Yeah, when we were long distance relationship, that's how we went on dates. It was just our thing to do. But putting that much time into it, like, it was unprecedented time for it to come out, but it was the perfect time. Because it's like there was nothing else to do, and it was giving us those social connections that we weren't having, that we were all cut off from. And it was also a way I got my mom and my sister to both get into it too during that time. So it was also a way that I got to reconnect with my mom, because my mom is the one who introduced me to the GameCube version, and we played together and we had a town together, and shared that. So it was nice that I got to relive that with my mom too. So so great. Anniversaries of things, you know? So she has let her Switch membership run out and has not renewed it. So she cannot visit me right now.
Rude.
Mom, but it's okay.
How dare she?
How dare she?
Yeah. Did you put a lot of time into it too during March, do you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely. When it first came out, I totally let my island go now, but it's overrun with weeds. But when it first came out, yeah, we also used it as a way to go on dates, because we used to go on Stardew Valley dates, but then we were like, well, Animal Crossing is out now, so let's do that. And so John would always be so jealous of how many butterflies that I would collect and how many flowers I had, because I was already
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I was really, like, I like collectathon things, so I mean, I was all over that. But yeah, so we would have museum dates and we would compare each other's museums.
Oh, that's adorable.
That is cute.
What do you have? Like, oh, you got that fish? That's crazy.
Butterfly room.
Yes, the butterfly room.
The vibes.
The vibes are so immaculate.
It's so good.
So immaculate.
We would just sit on that little bench and just be like, oh, we're so cute on our little date. And then take little screenshots and post them. I love that they let you do that. Yeah, that was really important for like our relationship, and also with my coworkers. I forgot about that. I don't know why, but like I always have such a hard time getting to know people, especially in like a work environment. And so that was truly the way that I made friends at work, because we had this spreadsheet and everyone would put their island code and everything, and then people would just pop over. And I was so used to this idea that you had to schedule a meeting with someone or like message them on Slack and be like, are you available? Can we talk right now? Like, is that okay? And then Animal Crossing just totally changed all of that. So instead, people would just come over. Like, I'd just leave my island open and they would just come over. And then I'd be like, oh my God, like, you want to talk to me? Like, like, you want to be my friend, even though I'm in an entirely different department, even though we like never really talk to each other on the floor at work. Like, you want to trade fruit with me? This is so cute. Like, you're my friend now. So yeah, that really helped me like branch out. Weirdly, the pandemic was my most social period in the beginning because of that.
Oh yeah. When I got this game, it felt like the sketchiest thing in the world, because I really wanted it, but I was petrified to go anywhere in public. I didn't want to go to the store. I didn't want to touch anything. And I had a good friend from my master's program, and her fiance works at GameStop, who's also my good friend. And I was like, hey, do you have Animal Crossing? And he was like, yeah, I do. And I was like, it comes out tomorrow or like tonight. It was like an early like night release, I think, or something. I was like, can you grab me a copy? He's like, yes, I can. And so I like in the pandemic, it was like pouring rain. I drove to their apartment and it was like dark, and like we were all like not sure like how social distancing like worked yet.
Oh yeah, we didn't know if like roads closed or if the police would like pull you over.
I remember my boss gave us permission slips to get to the pharmacy. Yeah,
it was like wildness. And so I like pulled into their apartment and they like came outside and we were like standing like definitely like 8 feet away from each other, except for the handoff. It felt like it felt like very like illegal activity, even though it was just Animal Crossing.
Secret type of
and
thing.
We did the handoff and we like talked however far away, because it was like very beginning of the pandemic and it felt super strange. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad to be talking to people, even though it was only like a week or two after it started or something.
Yeah.
And so I like got home and like popped in the Switch. I was like, oh my God, this is so cozy. And I just like became obsessed because I didn't leave my house. I was like scared to go on walks. I didn't want to like see anyone outside. Like I was even scared of, do you remember, Allie, we were almost like scared of the ground because we thought germs could live on the ground.
Yeah. I went to a Walmart and I was buying pink lemonade, and it was just like the Kool-Aid packets of pink lemonade. And I was so nervous, and I was wearing gloves, and I dropped the pink lemonade on the ground, and I started to have a panic attack because I was so scared to pick it up. I was a mess. I didn't know what was going on. And like, I'd never cared about dirt or germs or anything before, so I didn't know it was, I don't know. I just used a bunch of hand sanitizer, but you only had so much.
Yeah.
It was hard to find.
Yeah.
They
Those
bartered
were
with them,
weird
give them a
times.
couple of things of hand sanitizers, mask, gloves, a little bit of toilet paper to sweeten the deal.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Of course. Do you even need to ask? Because my father's job, his job had a lot of hand sanitizer there, just naturally by nature of his job. And so I would always go to his work and refill all of my little hand sanitizer like things. And so I was always stocked. Anyways, I'm digressing. When I was actually playing Animal Crossing, because I was still in school, I was still in my master's program, but I was like not good at like the whole online learning thing. I would always be on my laptop during Zoom calls and stuff. I would always have my Switch propped up on the call when we were learning about probably something important. And I would have the Joy-Cons separated from it in my hands off screen, just playing Animal Crossing like during class and like during lunch breaks for my job at the time when I was working in a career office. I would, during lunch breaks, without fail, or if there's any lull, because work was hard to come by because couldn't meet with students, I would just be like, maybe I should check up on the village, you know? Dom might be missing me.
Oh my gosh.
A little bit of a tangent, but I had a film class before, and we watched like a really long movie. I had my laptop up. I had Breath of the Wild going on my Switch behind it. I sat in the back row. I didn't care. I wasn't going to watch the movie. You got to do what you got to do sometimes.
You got to do what you got to do. And the great thing about this setup with the Switch on the thing and the Joy-Cons removed is it looks like you're staring dead into the camera.
It's galaxy brain right there.
Yeah. So I just had to make sure I wasn't wearing glasses so there wouldn't be like a reflection. Yeah.
So smart.
But then I would have classmates who would be on their Switch and be like, I see you online. And I'd be like, no. What? Wait, why are you online? They're like, what? But it was such a nice distraction
from everything else.
Literally everything else.
I don't know.
I just nodded affirmingly at TJ because
Animal Crossing and I didn't exactly get off on the best foot, as I woke up 6:30 a.m. got ready.
I was too scared to leave the house. I was like, it was like
as a
Sunday,
side note,
I got told, hey, I got to stay home. TJ was an essential worker. He had to go to work. So he was fearless. But I was like, I need Animal Crossing or I will die. And I can't leave my house. So he put on a brave face and he was like, I'm going to get this for her.
Not all heroes wear capes, TJ. Not all heroes wear capes.
No, they wear scrubs. So
true.
I already was out and about. I don't like Walmart to begin with.
Yeah.
I loathe Walmart during the pandemic. I was like, you know what?
That's fair.
Beth mentioned to me that this new Animal Crossing game was coming out. I don't know what's going on at GameStop. I don't know what's going on at Target. I know the Walmart is open relatively normal hours because the 13th was that Friday, and that's when I had to type out and put all the stuff up about what their response was to the pandemic. So I woke up at 6:30, showered, got dressed, double masked myself, went to the video game department, and it wasn't there.
Oh,
no.
Oh, that's
So
pain.
It was 7:05 as I walked to the back, and I found the person walking. I was like, hey, I need 2 copies of the new Animal Crossing game. Guy's like, what? I was like, there's a new Animal Crossing game. I have it right here on your app. It says they're in stock. It came out today. I'll go ask my boss about that. I don't see him for like 10 minutes, comes back and says, we don't have any.
What?
And I said, what? It says it's in stock. I don't want to be a Karen about things. I just need this video game. So I said, you know what? It's not worth yelling at someone ever, let alone during a pandemic.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go back home. So I angrily went back to our apartment, slept for 3 more hours. 10 o'clock rolls around, went back. Guess what was on the shelf? 2 copies of Animal Crossing.
Wait, was there just 2?
No, there was.
Okay.
There's like at least 10.
Okay.
There weren't a lot.
Okay. I was gonna say, if there was 2 left when you went back, I was like, that is fate.
Yeah.
I'm choosing to believe that there was just 2.
There were several, but we'll say there was 2 for the sake of things. So I grabbed them, gave them to Beth.
I was asleep, so I got to wake up at 10:30 to Animal Crossing, blissfully unaware
Of
the
any
day's
of the
events.
things that had preceded those events.
So I got to just wake up and start, and then I
had work later that day, so I didn't even get to enjoy until I came back at 11:30,
Aw.
which was fine,
Yeah, but 11:30.
And then I spoiled everything for him by then too, because I couldn't keep quiet. I was like, here's everything that happens. But I didn't time travel at all either. So
Really?
in the New Leaf, I time traveled constantly.
Yeah.
Every day, all the time. I have not once time traveled on my New Horizons copy, so it was all good. But I mean, I used Treasure Island, so I cheat. Absolutely, I still cheat, but I just don't cheat that way. But I definitely was like, here's everything that happens the first day, all right now.
But
And then
it was
TJ's like,
nice.
well, why am I gonna play this if you just explained it all?
Which I probably said, but it's nice to sort of have those sort of... You get to expect what's happening, and much like Pokemon, can't be that much different of game design.
It was helpful because I was like your little wiki, because it would be like, oh, you just have to I was like, save all your bugs and fish, just put them on the ground. And you're like, why? And I was like, trust me, just put them on the ground.
You'll regret it.
You're
if
gonna
you
need
don't.
it in a day, and you're gonna be like, why did I sell them all? And so
But it was
got
helpful
to
because
be
I
able
needed to
go
start
through it.
the
And he
Bladders
wouldn't-
quest.
You
and-
wouldn't have played the game. You wouldn't have played it on your own if you would have not known what to do, I feel like. So I was able to get you to where I wanted you to be so that we could play together. And then I could get all the things from your shop that I wanted. So.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I loved raiding your shop. That was the best.
And selling fruit in each other's shops.
yeah, because then don't you get more?
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
more if you sell a non-native fruit.
Mhm.
Yes. Now, who was everyone's characters? Because I don't first characters, starter characters on their island.
Oh. I had Cherry and I had Kid Cat. I feel like I really lucked out.
See, unpopular opinion, I don't really like Cherry's design.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm with you.
I understand it's
I'm sorry.
Spooky Dog. I understand it's Spooky Dog. It's just a little too... for Goth, I think they nailed Muffy a lot better for a Goth character. I don't know if it's... I don't like red designs or what. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm really putting down your homegirl.
No,
here.
it's okay. I feel like I have a strange bias to Cherry because she has that goth design, but she's not actually like a scary dog. Like she doesn't have any.
She's delightful.
She's delightful and she's like a heart of gold. And so it reminds me a lot of my friend Nicole because she has this exterior that's like, oh yeah, I could totally step on your throat and kill you. But then you get to know Nicole and she's so sweet, but she immediately just wants to intimidate people. But you just got to get to that soft center, her cute little heart. And so Nicole, she was freaked out by pandemic stuff and her parents were essential workers. And so she was just all over the place. I think she had a death in the family, things were going on. So we weren't really talking and because her life was crazy. So I got to be oh, Cherry's like Nicole to me. And so, yeah, that's why I have a little bias towards Cherry.
Mm-hmm.
But John, who did you start? You already said one, right?
Dom. My boy, Dom. I love Dom instantly. At first I was like, what's this sheep with the tie-dye doing? And he likes to work out. Weird. That's subverting expectations. But I love Dom with all my heart. And then I literally had to Google the other one, which is terrible because I like this villager. But my other one was cat.
I had cat. Not first, but I had cat at some point.
I really like cat, but not the most memorable. I think cat ended up departing from my village at some point.
They were like a rocker cat.
Yeah.
They like had a like band set up. I actually may have cat on my island right now. I think I may. But
cat is super nice. I just, if a cat's name is Cat, it just like...
there's better cats, though.
Yeah, there's better cats. And there's just a lot of really good villagers.
Kiki, Blanca, like so many.
Yeah, there's just... Yeah. So I was like, Cat, we'll have to part ways. But Dom is my ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely my ride or die.
So I'm going to use my wiki here.
I
know the designs.
Okay,
so
explain.
A very feminine elephant.
Tia?
I don't know unless I see a picture.
Or Ellie?
It was Ellie. It was Ellie.
Ellie, okay.
And then there was an alligator.
Was it Alfonso?
Alfonso.
What? Oh my god!
I collect amiibo cards, so I have to say I collect amiibo cards, so I get to look at them as I sort them every time I get a new one.
I mean, there's still a lot of options to go through with those vague descriptions.
But also, I visited this island too.
Well, that's true.
This is my core memories.
And then my third one was that one goat, I think, that you were super excited that I had.
I think it was Zell or Bo, because those
it was
two
Bo.
I like. And I had Bo
enjoyed
too,
Bo.
and I was like, oh my god, we both have the same
Oh my
villager
God.
at the same time.
I have Sherb. Sherb is my boy.
Sherb is cool.
I love Sherb.
Is he blue? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Blue? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Sherb is
think.
a blue goat?
I hope I'm not lying.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm just gonna do a quick background check, but I like Sherb.
That's a quick background check. Gotta check your ID, Sherb.
Yes. Sherb has a cute little sweater too. And he has like that little smile with the big eyes. Oh, so good.
I promise I like this game though. I just...
He just has Elden Ring and Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
those are honestly good.
And then Rocket League with the boys. Usually
Rocket
to close
League
out the
with the
night.
boys,
We have to
yeah.
get mad.
With the boys.
With the
boys.
But I had Gwen, the little blue penguin, kicked them out real fast. I don't think I connected to them. But then I also had the little green robot ostrich Sprocket. And I still have Sprocket.
Really? You started with Sprocket?
I started with Sprocket. I actually looked it up, though, because I didn't remember. But I still have Sprocket. Sprocket's really cute. I just don't like jock characters that much. So his personality kind of annoys me, but he's a robot, and I have the amiibo card for the robot octopus, cephalobot, and I want both of them.
We're deep into Tank and
Because
lore right now.
there's more robot characters. I think there's only like a handful, but I want all the robot characters so bad. But right now I'm just matching up frogs, so that's what I'm doing. And then Gala is a normal character. It's a pig with little flowers. She is also like, I will protect her at all costs. I got her, I think, 3rd or 4th, and I'm never letting her go. Even though she doesn't match the aesthetic. She's not a robot.
Yeah.
Why would I care? Well, I care about her, so it's okay.
You had that older lady wolf.
I had
for a while.
Audie.
you had Audie.
I kicked her out. No, I was bored. I think it was because she's a fashionista, and I already
She
had
was your
one.
3rd or 4th because you were super
And I
excited
was
when
like,
you got
oh my
her.
god, it's because it's based off that the old lady who played.
Yeah.
And like all those hours in a new leaf, like, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cute.
And your piece
And
in the
then
pod, and then you just booted her.
I just booted her. I don't
Heartless.
know. She asked to leave, and I said yes.
Brutal. Well, you know what? You were respecting her wishes.
And she's a
There you go.
fashionista. She gets to be a star. And I have her amiibo card. I can invite her for coffee whenever. She
Yeah.
remembers me. It's okay.
Oh, I am stupid. Okay.
Oh.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, this is perfect.
I am stupid because when the latest update came out, I was like, you know what? I want to get back into Animal Crossing. I'm not into my island. So I reset it.
That was a mistake. That's what a lot of people did, though.
I made a bold mistake. And I didn't quite comprehend just how much time I sank into it to get to the point where I was at to be able to get the coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got very discouraged, and I have not. I think I'm in denial that the coffee shop is in the roost, if you will, is in the game, because I don't know if I even got to have the actual museum building yet.
No, I think you did it for like 2 days and then you gave up.
Yeah, because I got really sad.
Yeah.
See, you gotta think
That's
of the
so sad.
implications
I
when you
didn't-
do something like that.
Well, just think about your Nintendogs that haven't been seen in 10 years.
Oh, my little I had the Chihuahua Nintendogs. Mistake.
How did you not get the lab one? Oh, how I didn't end up being like a serial killer or something later in life. Do you ever like
Where
take
is this
them on
going?
the, like, so you're petting the dog and you have like the rope toy
Yeah.
and you could like spin them around. I thought that was the
Oh my
greatest thing ever.
God. You tortured virtual puppies?
Well, they would like hang on.
You can cut this out if you
Okay, no, actually, I also developed some anger issues because of Nintendogs.
Alright, more relatable than I realized. Okay.
Yeah, this actually is. So, like, I'm a collector. We know this, right? Okay. When you take the dogs on walks, you can collect certain gifts.
Yes.
And yeah, and so I would try so hard to hit as many gifts as I could. And if my dog wasn't walking fast enough or didn't get a gift that I like, I would just like yank on the leash and
Oh
be like,
my god!
I'd be like, I need to get this one toy. If you don't get me this toy, little dachshund, then it's it for you. Like, I
We were a
get
show
so
mom.
mad.
We were like one of those dance moms, but we were Nintendo.
I was so mad, and then when they would get me duplicate gifts, I'd be like, I already have this. Like, I would get so mad. Poor.
Is that why we have cats?
I mean, partially.
Do you remember the
But,
bad
like,
spin-off game they tried to make for cats?
No. Oh, I do remember it existing.
Yeah, so it was like CATZ. It was the Z phase. Where you had
Well, that was like based
Oh.
on the pets, the PETZ. I feel like that was a
Oh,
series.
so it wasn't it wasn't like
It wasn't
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
It was, but
Okay.
it was a very similar.
It was like
game
it was
and
riding
not,
on the wave.
Mhm.
not as up to quality as
Mhm.
Nintendo's.
It was-
I think.
It was like the Walmart brand. It's like the Dr. Thunder or
Yeah.
something of Nintendogs.
See, I had another one of those games, but it was hamsters, and they didn't get you gifts, and there was no collecting aspect, so I was much nicer to the hamsters.
I was all about the frisbee game. The frisbee.
Oh, you threw it. Was,
Yes!
yeah, it was
The
instant
dog-
gratification.
Instant gratification. And the dog shows were so much fun.
Mhm.
They were frustrating, but so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And like, especially when your dog landed the double hurdle.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, oh, go, buddy. Oh, you got this. Wow. We worked so hard at this and you did it. I didn't develop anger issues.
Well, that was the only thing I did that was where, like, I would shower them, I'd pamper them,
Oh, yeah.
I'd
Oh.
feed them, pet them.
Yeah.
But when it came to playtime, I mean, this also stems from training my own dog, would let him bite at my arm. And if there were scratches, or it was just part of the fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So roughhousing was part of it, never on the dog, but on me. So when you could, like, know there was no consequences to frisbeeing your dog, it just
Yeah.
kind of happened.
I just really wanted those gifts, man.
No,
I mean,
that's
the
fair.
toys
That's
the toys
fair.
were for them. Like, I would give them the toys.
Yes.
But I don't know.
No,
I'm sorry, dogs. I'm
It's okay.
sorry, dogs.
It's okay. The DS cartridge's battery is long since expired.
You're right.
But okay, so back to Animal Crossing.
yes.
I feel like it's such a game that I never expected it to have such a cultural impact to the magnitude of Pokemon Go, but opposite. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, yeah. The summer of Pokemon Go is crazy.
Yeah, like there's the summer of Pokemon Go and the pandemic of Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
And those are two very
Black Swan events.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. And so talking about Pokemon Go, because I feel like that was a happier time just in general. You know, thinking back on the warm, fuzzy days.
The local, like, you know, supermarkets having merch. You can get your Zapdos Articuno Moltres merch and fidget spinners and t-shirts and hats and beanies.
I know everyone on the internet has said this. I feel like the summer of Pokemon Go was as close to world peace as we will ever get.
Yeah.
Literally.
I agree. I remember walking through a park downtown at the town my parents lived in, which wasn't really a safe place, with my mom. And just, we would stop and talk to everyone.
Yeah.
Because everyone was playing. And I'm like, this is scary, but it's also really nice. Like, wow, I'm meeting people. I'm talking to people. It was good.
I remember all my friends decided, we're going to go play deck hockey. Mm-hmm. They just redid this arena. We're going to go. We were out way too late. It was like 10:30, but it was also connected to a park. Mm-hmm. And obviously past sundown, I don't know why it's such an American thing that parks close at dusk when everywhere else in the world, they're open 24/7. Mm-hmm. So this officer like rides up next to us. He's following us, turns on his lights. He's like, Team Instinct? And we're just like, stop. He escorted us the whole way around to make sure no one else tried to kick us out. We were playing, we were catching stuff. It was just, that wouldn't have happened now.
That's so cool.
Were you both Team Instinct?
I was.
I was not.
I was Mystic.
I was Mystic too.
Okay, all right. We're evenly matched here then. That's fine.
I mean, I wasn't Team Instinct. I was Team Mystic. I was an Articuno fanboy.
Oh. Sorry, you're alone, Allie.
TJ's also a Hufflepuff though, so I think the yellow, it's like a Hogwarts house kind of thing.
I'm a Hufflepuff too.
By trade.
Yeah. So with that summer of Pokemon Go, I remember I lived in the middle of nowhere. Literally the middle of nowhere. And being in the middle of nowhere, distinct disadvantage. I would have to run literally a half a mile down the road just to catch a Spearow.
No Pokestops in sight?
No Pokestops. I think the closest Pokestop was like 3 miles away or something, 4 miles away.
You can't do anything, I feel like that.
No.
So I would have
at least early game Pokemon Go, you could do anything. I don't know how it is now, but...
No, yeah. At least when it came out, very few Pokemon, very repetitive. So I would always have to drive to one of the towns kind of near me. Mm-hmm. And I would just meet up with friends from high school. Like, we were in college at the time. I can't remember. What year was it? Like 2015, 2016?
It was right after we started dating, so it was 2016.
2016.
Yeah. And so I would just meet up with high school friends, and we would just wander, like you were saying, like wander through parks. I worked as a dishwasher at a restaurant that summer. And so after work at like 11 p.m. when I finally got done washing all of those dishes, that was awful. I was the only one washing anyways. I would just like go into town, which was actually kind of dangerous now that I think back on it too. And I would just wander around for like 2 hours just catching Pokemon. And people were so nice. Mm-hmm. People who didn't even know what Pokemon was and would call them Weeblies instead of Weedles would play Pokemon Go. They'd be like, I call a Weebly. That's my sister. My sister called it a Weebly. But they would play Pokemon Go because it was such a moment in time, just like Animal Crossing, where it doesn't matter if you've ever heard of a Weebly or not. Like, you wanted to be a part of it. I thought that was so cool. Like, so many companies would be like, hey, we're having a Pokemon Go event. Like, come to our store and get, like, a free little Pokemon toy that was imported from some sketchy retailer. Like, what's that one? Like, Wish.com or something?
Oh, Wish is just on the...
Yeah. Like,
different level.
It's like Pokemon from Nintendo, Pokemon by Wish memes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was a different time.
It was a great summer too. Like, there just wasn't... I don't remember any torrential downpours or it ever being too hot out.
Or unprecedented times.
No
unprecedented times.
Yet, it was 2015. But I think it's interesting, though, looking back at, like, the release of Animal Crossing and the release of Pokemon Go and how it's kind of like a rose glasses, like looking through rose-colored glasses type of situation. Because there were so many issues with the app at the beginning. And even Animal Crossing wasn't a complete game when it came out.
No.
It was still quality of life way above the previous games, but there were still so many issues. And it's really interesting how it really did impact us so much, but we gloss over the issues. They're not as ingrained in us, in our memories.
I may or may not remember reading articles about how you could refund any amount of money you spent on the App Store.
Oh, really?
At 2 to 3 months after release because of issues in the game. So
wow.
I got things for giving them a short bridge loan.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, now that you mention it, I did remember one big issue that I had with Pokemon Go, and it's the reason why I stopped playing. I was so excited because there was a Dragonite on my street.
Yes.
And I think I may have told this story on the podcast. Sorry if I'm going over ground that's already been covered.
No, I think this is fresh.
Okay. Well,
I think it's fresh. Maybe not. I don't know.
So I lived on a kind of sketchy street. You definitely shouldn't be walking alone at night, especially if you're a young woman.
We all lived in sketchy places.
Really?
Literally.
Yeah, we really did. So I saw a Dragonite down the street and I was like, oh, but it's 10:30 and it's really dark and I shouldn't go. And I made my dad stand out on the porch and watch me run down the street. And I tried to catch this Dragonite and then there was a server error crash and I couldn't catch the Dragonite and I just did not open the app ever again.
Heartbroken.
Heartbroken.
There was a lot of situations like that with people that were immediately turned off of the game because of issues like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember that day because I would be like, hey, want to go play Pokemon Go? And you'll be like, not really. I'll go with you while you play it, but I don't want to play it.
Yeah.
Or the people that would have 8 phones all playing at once while driving, while on the interstate.
Oh my gosh.
Or people who would go into private property just to catch a Nidoran.
It's wow, this is Area 51, but there's
a Mewtwo
Diglett
behind
right over there.
man.
I gotta go get him. That Abra, I need him.
So many crazy stories from Pokemon Go.
Yeah, but I feel like there'll never be. I mean, there will obviously there will be another moment like that again, but not quite like that, where it's just it got. I've never seen in my entire life, and we all grew up before internet was as pervasive as it is now.
Yeah.
Even then, I don't remember ever seeing that many people just casually out for when there wasn't an event.
Yeah.
Obviously you see people out on trails and whatever, but the amount of people consistently just hanging out outside in parks and walking around towns, and yes, they were looking at their phones, but you were only kind of looking at your phone because if there wasn't a Pokemon you're actively catching, you weren't looking down. You were talking with people and then you'd feel a buzz on your phone when something appears and you'll be like, oh my gosh, a Voltorb! That's crazy!
Right in front of me!
Yeah, it's right here, guys! Look at this augmented reality!
Oh my gosh, the augmented reality!
And it would be super disproportionate to whatever you were looking at and it's super scuffed, but still it was so fun. And
why is this Nidoking looking at me while I'm on the toilet?
No, yeah. Yes. And all of the pictures and all of there will just never be, and it's super rose tinted glasses, 110%. Because half the time you couldn't even get into the game. But it was still so much fun. I will always, and I feel bad because I think it's actively worse now. It's a much better product, but it's so oversaturated with stuff now.
It was so simple. It was you go out with your friends, you catch Pokemon. They added raids then, and that was a fun little thing, And then after that, I feel we fell out. A lot of people fell out. But,
yeah. Taking gyms was so fun. At the time, and it's getting coins to do this and that, and so much, so cool. Team Mystic owns this town.
Yeah.
But now it's just okay, catching them all seems super impractical. Because there's like 600 in the game now. Like, I'm never gonna catch
And some you can't even get, like, the region
locks. Or,
so it's like...
unless it's a special event.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's so impractical now that, like, it's kind of killed itself for me. Because, like, I played it up until last year.
You played it up until Pikmin.
Well,
honestly.
I played it up until Pikmin Bloom came out. Which Pikmin Bloom is just, again, it brings it back down to that very digestible kind of format that I actually enjoy. Because I feel like, okay, this is actually achievable that I could get every kind of Pikmin. Whereas Pokemon, I am literally never going to get a Deoxys. I know it's possible through raids. I'm literally never going to get a Heracross, which kills me inside because I love Heracross.
I'm so sorry.
And so, I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. I miss Pokemon Go. The OG Pokemon Go, even though it was super scuffed.
Yeah.
The simple, bite-sized,
Yes.
fits in the palm of your hand Pokemon Go.
Yeah. But I feel like I'm interested in your answers. Something that we do at the end of every single podcast is what are we playing and what are we watching? And so what are both of you playing and or watching right now?
I'm always playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. It's with a hard C, right? Arceus?
Yes.
I always say Arceus and then I don't like get embarrassed.
It's both. There's canonical Arceus and Arceus.
It's fine. It's not important. I am playing Arceus right now and Stardew, obviously.
Mhm.
And then I just started watching My Hero Academia last night. I've never seen it. So we're about 4 or 5 episodes in on that. And that's
Ooh.
really fun.
Getting started.
I'm enjoying it so far. And then TJ?
So right now, I am still playing Elden Ring. The newest release patch updates has nerfed my favorite sword.
Oh,
It's a cheesing sword. So I've played Dark Souls S-type games before, and I understand they're challenging. That's the fun of the game.
Yeah.
Like I said, whenever I play Rocket League, we don't play for fun. We play to get mad because at some point we're all going to be mad.
Yeah.
And we just can't end the game on. We can't end our night on a win. We have to be mad, go to bed mad all the time. That's such is life in our friend group. So Elden Ring is the same thing. It's always enjoyable to be humbled by a video game.
Yeah.
To know that it doesn't matter how far along you've come, how many souls you have, you just might get your butt kicked and lose everything in the span of 2 or 3 minutes that you just spent 5 hours getting. So I'm going to start a new character, much to the disappointment of all my friends, to try a new cheese build with the samurai. So that is currently what I'm playing outside of my other hobbies like magic. And we just finished watching Kotaro Lives Alone. Mm-hmm. So while I'm waiting for the weekly updates for how Realist Hero rebuilt the kingdom, and there's another one just like that that's out right now that I'm currently watching. There's no updates on Mushoku Tensei, which is what I enjoyed watching, so I'm just gonna totally enjoy rewatching My Hero with my lovely girlfriend.
Yes. He doesn't hate it at all.
I sense there's something in your voice there. I sense you're not being entirely honest with me.
Oh no, she's my lovely girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
That's fair. That's fair.
I just got back into Ring Fit, and so I was one of those people that like pre-ordered it. Like I saw the first trailer and I was like, I want that. And so I pre-ordered it, did the whole thing. People made fun of me, cough, cough, John. No, you didn't.
I did not. No, I was all aboard. What are you saying? You're painting me like a villain.
I don't know.
Did I make fun of it? I may have teased you.
I feel like
I'll backpedal. I'll immediately backpedal.
Yeah. You defended yourself and then let go very quickly.
I let go because I wasn't actually positive, and you have a better memory than me.
I think it took the the trailer, like when I first showed it to you, you were like, I don't know, and it's how expensive? Like, that's kind of a lot.
I think I did make fun of the price.
Yeah, but then once I was like, no, it's like Pilates, like this is real, and then you went, oh, actually that does have some benefit.
And I think you sold me when you told me it was an RPG.
Yeah, that
you know,
too.
when I was like, because I was like, okay, like this looks strange, but you were like, no, it's like an RPG. I was like, oh my god, that's actually really cool.
Yeah. But at work, I've been organizing a bunch of merch and inventory and just stuff like that. And I couldn't even lift any of it above my head. Like the way that our organizational stuff is laid out, I would have to lift some huge like baskets and things above my head. And I couldn't do it. And so then we had to get a step stool. It was a whole mess. And QA watches me and I always feel like I'm going to drop it on my head and embarrass myself in front of them. And no, I couldn't do it. So I needed to get buff. So now I'm buff. And I can lift it up. I could lift it above my head. A whole thing of t-shirts.
It's
I
shredded.
did today.
It's
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, you can't see Allie, but if you know the Anchor Arms episode of SpongeBob, where SpongeBob just has anchor arms.
They're giant.
She walks on her hands now. She's so buff.
I will concur. Yeah, that is how.
It is impressive.
It's
Oh,
so-
thank you.
I thought you were going to rip the door off when you came in.
I know, it was really aggressive. I'm sorry, I don't know my own strength.
yeah, straight up swole.
So yeah, I'm into Ring Fit Adventure right now, and then we watched an episode of Comey, and oh my gosh, it was good. I really liked the moment where she was just writing everything, and then they had the emotional music, and like I was getting into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good episode. And then I watch Piplup Step every day. It's not an anime. It's just we gotta watch it
close
every
enough.
single day.
Close enough. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Are we watching? Well, am I watching anything else? Or doing anything else?
We watched an entire Netflix reality show, but that's not an anime.
Oh yeah, that's what we did. We watched Love Is Blind season 2. That's not an anime though, but
Yeah.
we watched that when John got his wisdom teeth out.
Literally the weekend for 3 days, all we did is watch Love Is Blind. Just a terrible reality show.
Man, you're saying there were 3 days you could have triple watched Comey Can't
Look.
Communicate?
We needed something that John could fall asleep to if he needed to.
Yeah, I needed
And,
something
yeah.
mindless. I actually want to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Whereas, like reality TV, there's something delightful about reality TV. I'm gonna say it. That's like, ooh, I know this is actively terrible, and I'm like losing brain
And
cells.
scripted.
Yeah.
But like, I enjoy it.
Mhm.
That's how I am with the Twilight series.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's not good, but I reread
Some-
the books and watch the movies every year.
Sometimes you just need something mindless.
Mhm.
Takes you back.
And so what am I playing and
Speaking
watching?
of mindless, Chocobo GP.
Oh my god, I have been playing that so much. I played that for like 4 hours the day I got my wisdom teeth out.
I know, I was like, take your medicine, go rest, and go Chocobo GP. With gauze in your mouth, just Chocobo GP.
I literally, people trash on Chocobo GP a lot because it's a games as a service kind of situation. And to be fair, they're not wrong. But it's not as bad as people think. I've almost gotten both unlockable characters already that like people are like, you have to pay money for them. No, you just gotta put in the dedication and time to get them. So I already have Squall. I'm like halfway to Cloud, and is it worth $50? No. Maybe 20. Because there's 5 tracks total.
Oh.
But they have short, medium, and long modes. It's bad. But a lot of the characters you can unlock are from Final Fantasy IX, and I have a soft spot for Final Fantasy IX.
There it is.
And so, like, Chocobo GP, loving it. Loving it.
So you're saying the game's intent is to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different characters?
Yes, that's... What did you just Google? Yes, that is exactly... And I feel proud. I feel proud.
Did you Google gotcha?
No, it's the most downvoted Reddit comment for EA community team.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. But no, don't buy it. Don't spend your money on this game. but I'm enjoying it. And, you know, it got me through having gaping holes in my gums. And that's what matters.
That is.
And
it filled the void in your gums.
Yes, it filled the void in my gums with mediocre kart racer gameplay at best and meh tracks, but cool Final Fantasy characters in those carts.
Oh my god.
And terrible customization and...
The home screen music makes me want to rip my ears off.
Oh,
what is it? Because I know there was another Final Fantasy game I downloaded and it was always Prelude when you open the game, so I let it sit there for about 10 minutes because I love that song.
I need to show you after this what this opening music is, because it's like childlike singing. Like,
yeah.
It's where they just sing the names of all the characters.
Lovely.
It's terrible. So I haven't played that in a couple days though, because I've been replaying Psychonauts 2.
True, and we have a Psychonauts stream. This is coming out on Wednesday.
So later today.
There you go.
If you're listening to this on Wednesday, and if you aren't listening on Wednesday, what are you doing? You missed it.
Unless you're on Patreon.
In which you listened early, in which case you didn't miss it. It's in 2 days.
Got your Wednesday already penciled in for you.
Yeah. So that's what you are all doing on Wednesday. Yes. And am I watching anything? I don't think I'm watching anything.
You're watching Kill Me Can't
Well, we already talked about that.
You watched the new episode of Attack on Titan?
Oh, I did do that. I don't know how I feel about Attack on Titan right now. It's just too much. It's just like everything is so suspense. It's not even fun how much every episode is like a cliffhanger at this point. I'm just like sick of it now. Just like give it to, like, we're drawing this out too long. Let's just see the end. I just want the end. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, is that terrible? I don't care about Attack on Titan anymore. I'm just watching it out of obligation.
I'm sorry.
I should have just binged it.
Yeah.
I should have just waited and binged it, but now I'm too far deep. I'm committed to watching it every Sunday, and it's only 20 minutes, and it feels like 5, and I'm just like, wow, underwhelming. Like, I cried, but like, ugh.
You're spiraling.
I'm spiraling.
You're doing this to yourself.
Capitalism. All of my problems are...
When you just get down to it.
Of capitalism. Anyways... Anyone else have anything you want to talk about?
Not really. But
really.
Speaking about Battlefront 2, I downloaded it. That's what this quote's from.
Oh, okay.
That actually didn't tie together.
I was like...
Now for something completely different.
I will say, I spent 9 hours completely just enraptured by both the first half and the second half of the single player game mode. It has a really good story. And I'm glad I didn't pay $80 to unlock Darth Vader. He's just in the game now.
There you
Who would
go.
have thought?
Good. Wait, so they made people... Did they reimburse people?
I have no idea if they reimburse people, but I know that when it first launched, you couldn't get the hero. So if you played the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 for PlayStation and Xbox, you knew that the heroes were it was an actual complete game. Everything was there, all the heroes, all the villains. They even had heroes versus villains mode. And if you did really well, you were given the option to play as a hero or a villain. So in this game, you had to pay at the beginning to get it out of a loot box to have the opportunity to unlock it to play in the game mode. But then you still had to do good to get enough credits to play as him in that game. And then sometimes you're not even on the same team where the hero was there.
Wait. So you have to unlock through a loot box the ability to unlock the character.
Yes. So you get the character. So say you get Darth Vader. You spent $80 on loot boxes to unlock him. You still have to play a game mode, get put on the team that, like, you know, the bad guys, if you will, the villains. You have to get on that team, and then you still have to hope that the map has access to him, and then you have to get enough credits from playing in that, you know, battle game, whether it's, conquest or whatnot, you have to get, enough credits then to unlock to play as him and hope that someone else isn't already playing as him. That's how it was originally designed.
Well,
wow.
That's A, terrible. B, Chocobo GP is much better than that.
On that note.
But now everything's fine and you just have access to all of them. You still have to do good in the game to play as him.
Wow.
That's good that they made that change. And that's a good note for me to write down that the story is good. But does anyone else want to talk about anything else?
I don't think so.
Well, then, on that note, I think that'll do it for this week's episode of ThoughtCast, the video game and anime podcast. And as always, make sure, if you enjoyed this episode, to like the video, subscribe, ring that notification bell, rate us 5 stars if you have not already on Apple Podcasts. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And rate us wherever you listen to us. Rate us as highly as possible wherever that is. But as always, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, a fantastic rest of your week, and why not even a fantastic rest of your month. And we will see you on Wednesday. Later.
See ya.